Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 3, Episode 23, The Fourfold Trap. Now, after yet another hiatus, which fortunately wasn't like half a year almost, we get a really great episode that, in all honesty, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be kind of a Saw parody a little bit. I thought they'd at least make that joke in the beginning of the episode when Raph woke up. I thought it was going to be like, hello Raphael, I'd like to play a game. But fortunately, this episode actually turned out to be very foot based, and more specifically, it was Karai based, and that was without a doubt the best part of the episode because I think, like everyone else, I was surprised to see Karai in this one because, we kind of had the moment where, yeah, she'd been infected by the slugs, but that was kind of it. It was like, we don't really know when she's going to come out of that and be used as a weapon. And one of the biggest surprises is that she was in this episode, but Shredder wasn't. It seemed like it was impossible for that not to just go hand in hand, where we would see Shredder in the episode where he's like, she's finally ready to go out, or just some form of dialogue, and then we see Karai go out, but there was no Shredder. It was all Karai at the top of this. And, we got to see all the other villains. We got Bebop and Rocksteady, Tiger Claw, Zevra and Razar. And it was really cool. We got to see all of them pretty much get beat up. I mean, Splinter fighting Bebop and Rocksteady was like the best thing ever. And just him beating up everyone was awesome because it's Master Splinter. It's always awesome. And I mentioned this in the last episode with the Creeping Doom. They had like a tiny little bit of stuff when he fought against, the Creeping Doom, and he, kind of blew it through a wall and stuff, but that was super quick. And in this, he went to save the Turtles in April, and we got to see him fight Bebop and Rocksteady, and I'm like, Jesus, is this guy never just like destroying somebody, like every time he fights, unless it's Shredder or Karai, and that's because of the fact that he doesn't want to hurt his daughter. Unless it's those two people where it's either a really close match or he's holding back, he's just decimating somebody. And he does that in this episode, and it's awesome to watch. Like, he goes on, he destroys Rocksteady, and then Bebop actually gets a hit on him. He was like, it surprised me, because I'm like, he's the first person, I think, outside of Shredder that actually has hit Splinter throughout the entire series, I believe. I could be wrong, but I don't ever really remember anyone else getting an actual hit on Splinter. Maybe Karai did, but, once again, it's because he would hold back. He doesn't want to actually just take her down like that. So that kind of shocked me, like, wow, someone actually got a hit on Splinter. And then he went like blind samurai mode and was just like, and just did a block and just threw him. I'm like, well, and there it is. He's just getting beat up now. So that was really fun. Then Razar, like, he took him out like one hit. He just did like a little counter and just threw his head right into a pipe. He was done. Then Zevra, we didn't even see what happened there. I was like, alright, so he took out Razar. I'm like, alright, so we got 3 left. We have Zevra, Tiger Claw, and Karai. I knew that was going to happen. So he jumps in the water. It's like, alright, that's number 1. Of course it's going to be Zevra. He gets dragged down, and then it's just like, Zevra just floats to the top like a dead fish. I'm like, what did he do to him underwater? And then he fights Karai. I kind of wish we got to see him fight Tiger Claw, because Tiger Claw is like my favorite out of all the villains, because he is like that badass villain. Like, it goes Shredder, Karai, and it's definitely Tiger Claw, because everyone else has kind of just failed, and so now they're kind of the mutated characters that they are. But Tiger Claw has always been Tiger Claw, so he's not in the level where he was mutated to become a servant of Shredder, or accidentally mutated and, stayed as a servant just in mutated form. He's just Tiger Claw. He's whatever he is, like an alien / whatever. And he's always really awesome. So that's like the only thing we didn't get to see. He didn't officially go up like the whole chain of all the enemies. And we missed out on Tiger Claw. Even fighting in general, to be totally honest, like Tiger Claw, I don't know what the heck happened to him. He basically disappeared. Because Splinter took out Zevra, and I was like, alright, so he's going to fight Tiger Claw and Karai, and he'd probably have to fight them together. And so he's fighting Karai, and it was like, where the heck is Tiger Claw? Like, he just vanished out of nowhere. And I thought, okay, maybe Splinter will fight Karai, and then April will somehow be like a distraction for Tiger Claw, so he can't get to Splinter, and they double team him. But that didn't happen. Tiger Claw was just like gone until the end of the episode when he came back with a jetpack and a sniper rifle, or like a laser rifle, and then that was it. They, I guess it was Leo because he had one of the blades. He knocked the gun out of his hand, and that was it. And he just flew off. I was like, where did he go, or what happened that I missed? It could have been something I missed, but I'm pretty sure he just like up and vanished, and there was no explanation for it. And he just poof, he just came right back. So I'm not sure if that's something like maybe there was a deleted thing where, of course, they just didn't have the time to add in, that extra fight and, do the full effects for it. And so it was kind of like a deleted scene that explained why he was gone and just took off. Or maybe I really did just miss it. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't think he was in the water or anything like that was ever. So that kind of confused me. I was like, he just up and vanished. I kind of forgot, honestly. At first I noticed it like, oh, he's not there. What the heck happened? And then I totally forgot because it was Splinter fighting Karai, and then the turtles had to figure out how to escape. And I was just like in the episode, and I forgot until he came back. Like, oh yeah, it didn't make sense that he was gone. And that was so like after honestly like 10 straight seconds, I just completely forgot that he was still supposed to be in the scene, and it didn't come to me until the end of the episode when he showed up again. But aside from that, like that's a minor thing. I don't really care. The episode was amazing. Like, this was a great episode. Of course, coming back from yet another hiatus, which always sucks, but we are officially back, which is really good. I did look up, and I always do this because I always try to figure out like when the episode's going to show up. We will be getting the last of this season all in order. At least we're supposed to. That's what it says on Wikipedia, and that tends to be accurate in this case when it's saying like when the episodes are going to come out as far as dates. So we have this episode, and we're supposed to be getting, I believe, 4 more episodes or so. We're actually very close to the season finale for season 3, and I'm not sure if they'll do this one like they did season 4 or season 2 because of the hiatus and everything. Where season 2 had its finale, and it was, I believe, it was like an hour-long finale, and then season 3 technically premiered the very next week. There was no pause because they'd already done a super long hiatus, which is, why it's always so weird watching the show. It's like, oh, the technical season finale for 2, came out, and then boom, the next week it was season 3 technically, but it's not like, oh wow, it's, the season premiere or finale, except for like season 1 was really the only time we actually got to experience that. So, I'm not sure if that's how we're going to end up with season 4 as well, where we get, our next couple weeks, and the season finale, which is called Annihilation Earth, I believe, part 1 and 2, both premiere on the same day, so that's really good. We're going to get our hour-long season finale again, but like I said, I don't know if season 4 is going to come the very next week, but I would love it if it did, and I don't know what they're leading up to. I mean, I have to assume it's going to be, of course, Shredder and his brain slugs. And with there only being about 3 or 4 more episodes, it's going to be a big focus. It's all going to be main episodes and not like filler stuff happening. Although the fillers have been pretty great this season, and especially like the mutated Shredders bonding, and we got like the crazy Attack on Titan stuff. That's super awesome, so I can't deny that. Creeping Doom in the last episode, still pretty cool. One of my favorite mutations that the Turtles have ever faced anyway, just because of, the sort of Friday the 13th reference that it is. And it's still pretty awesome because it is a tough enemy for them to fight. And then, it got even crazier. But I'm excited for these next couple episodes. I love the action in this. The comedy was also really good. I think one of my favorite moments was definitely Mikey when he got saved from the mutagen. Like, of course it's Mikey, but Mikey when he was like, I don't want to know what I'll turn into, and then it was him as like a girl turtle. That was funny. Him after Leo and Raph saved him, and they did like the farting noise and stuff, and then all the mutagens on the ground, and basically they did it where it was like he pooped all of it out, and he's just like, huh, and his tongue was sticking out. I just cracked up. Like, I had to rewind that because I was laughing so hard because I didn't expect it. It was like, it was a simple joke, but for some reason, just the way it looked in his face where he was just like obviously it was because it's like, oh man, I actually made it, but of course he's sitting on the toilet, and it just looks so funny. It was like literally toilet humor, but it was like the thing that made me laugh the most this whole episode. So I love that. Mikey saving Donnie was actually pretty funny when he somehow got into the game just by getting electrocuted. But that was a pretty awesome scene. Um, I think that was pretty much it for the comedy. That and like the name stuff, which still technically involved Mikey. All of it was really funny. Like I said, the action was definitely amazing. Like you can't have a bad action episode when Splinter does even the most minimal form of action, because it's Splinter just doing like some pressure point stuff, some judo throws, because that's pretty much what he does. It's like judo, where basically it's just like counter flips. That's all I know about judo, and I could be wrong about that, honestly, but that's pretty much all he does. And it's just like counter, throw, pressure point stuff, you're done. And then it's just something really cool after that, where it's probably more pressure point stuff, or just another block and counter, and toss you into something else. So all the action was amazing. The comedy was definitely great. The fact that it was a main story episode surprised me, but in the best way possible. We got to see all of the villains outside of Shredder, and it was just great. We got to see Karai actually get cured by the end of this as well. Like, fortunately, Leo gave Splinter the idea to like use the healing hands ability again, and it actually worked when he hit Karai. We got to see Karai go into like her snake form, which, in all honesty, I kind of forgot about, but we got to see her fight normally. We got to see her go into her snake form. We got to see her. She actually spit acid in one scene, like when she was actually about to win. She actually like spit acid. It was super quick how they did it. She spit acid in Splinter's face, and then she like wrapped herself around him because she was about to get him. But it was just really awesome. We got to see all of that happen, and then of course she like throws up the brainworm at the end, and now Karai is free. She's gonna be able to make her own decisions. Who knows as far as memory wise what she'll remember and what she won't. I think they're gonna have it where she just remembers, so she doesn't have to go through the whole cycle again. Like, oh, is Splinter really my father? Is he not my father? Because she heard them. I don't remember how many episodes ago that was, but she heard Splinter talking, and I'm pretty sure that was like last season or something like that, or whenever. I don't know. Like, it's so hard to remember because it feels like it was almost a year ago, which it probably was. So whenever that happened, she overheard them talking, and she realized that Splinter wasn't just saying crap; he really is her father. So I'm hoping they don't like wipe her memory again, and she doesn't have to go through that cycle of trying to figure out who's her real father and stuff like that. But she's free. She's gonna either join up with the Turtles or try to take on Splinter, which I think is far more likely because that's kind of how she was raised. So I think she's gonna go the anger route rather than just being with the people who are her actual family at this point. But either way, I'm really freaking excited. Karai is free. Splinter, obviously thinks that everyone kind of thinks that she might be gone. Shredder, of course, doesn't know what's happening just yet, so she's kind of lost to everyone at this point again, really, because she kind of was when she first got mutated. And so it's very similar to that. Like, we didn't see, of course, Shredder in the episode, but she's kind of lost to both sides at this point, and she might just show up, right in the next episode now that she's cured. But Splinter thinks she's gone. The Turtles, they're kind of keeping hope alive, but they kind of know that she's out there somewhere. Shredder knows that she's out there somewhere, but he doesn't know that she's cured either, and neither did Splinter. He thought that he kind of messed her up because, she did kind of freak out, but he didn't know, like, it actually helped her. He thought he kind of messed her up. But she's cured. Shredder doesn't know. Splinter doesn't know. And now it's kind of up to Karai which path she's going to take. And I don't know. Like, it's Karai, so it seems like she'll go the Shredder route where she'll kind of try to take him on. But she's also smarter than that. And she's done it before. She's tried to do that and it's failed. So I think she might actually go to Splinter and the Turtles and be like, hey, I'm cured. Now let's go destroy Shredder as a team or something like that. But I'm incredibly excited for these next couple episodes. Love this one. Glad the Turtles are back. I was kind of thinking over the past couple of weeks, like, maybe I've just been missing episodes. Maybe they weren't recording or something. But yeah, I would have preferred that, and then I had to catch up rather than, no, we just haven't had an episode randomly in like almost a month. But it's back now. We're gonna get consistent episodes. I'm excited for that. Of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about the real big focus on Splinter and Karai in this episode, because that was obviously the main point. Like, the turtles being saved was admittedly kind of a plot device for this, and it seemed like that was the point, and it kind of was for Karai initially. But even her plan was, all right, let's get the turtles really so that we can get to Splinter. Like, it was all about Splinter and Karai this episode. And of course, I loved it. We got to see the action of Splinter, the action, of Karai, and then Splinter actually curing Karai in his emotional moment of kind of losing her again. I think it was like for the third time he felt like he lost his daughter. So, of course, I loved it, but I want to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.